Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to give you beautiful people another review. So tonight we're reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw for November 2nd, 2013, and they're in Oklahoma City today, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and the first thing we catch is CM Punk coming to the ring. Big chant from the crowd of CM Punk. He comes to the ring and he basically talks about how he was going through feelings of trying to figure out, why the Shield would attack him. And the first thing that comes to mind is that the Authority sent them, and he didn't want to believe that. He didn't think that the Authority was that stupid to send somebody to attack and to bring CM Punk out of his own little world into the Authority's world, since CM Punk has been doing his own little thing this whole time, to bring him into the Authority's whole role scheme, and saying, now you brought the best of the world into this, and now you fucked up, So, he calls him stupid and call him all of their name and stuff like that. And Stephanie McMahon comes out and she's basically pleading her case and saying, we didn't do this, and basically saying, she said Triple H started D-Generation X. They're known for doing funny things, but they didn't do this. And Punk calling them out of their names and stuff like that is immature. Calling CM Punk immature, and Stephanie McMahon saying that they're above CM Punk and above all the accusations and stuff like this, and that they don't have time to handle this. That they got a big match at TLC they need to worry about. So she brought out Kane to basically do his kind of like lawyer speak to say, that he did a whole little investigation and found out that the Authority wasn't a part of this and it was all on the Shield. So CM Punk basically, saying, nah, fuck that, and then the Shield proceed to come out, and CM Punk grabs a chair and Stephanie McMahon makes the Shield stand down, and then I believe Punk goes around and he starts challenging Kane as well, and she holds Kane back. And how did this end? Oh yeah, Kane then says at TLC there will be says CM Punk is so pissed about handicap matches or some shit like that. At TLC there will be a handicap match with CM Punk versus all three members of the Shield. So they end that segment with that. Next, we have a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. You got Big E Langston, the Intercontinental Champion, sitting at the commentators table, and the matches between Dolph Ziggler and Damien Sandow, who's have been having a few matches here and there. I think they had 2 matches in the last 2 weeks, and they also had a few matches against each other in the past, I say, month or so. And I think October they had a match or something like that. And this is technically, I don't know if it's technically, but as far as the last 2 matches go, this is their rubber match, and it's going to see who's going to be in the Intercontinental going for the belt. This is also pretty big thing to talk about because there's not going to be a United States Championship the way they're playing it up. So the next big championship, I guess, is the IC Championship. And I guess the way they're playing this is that, Dolph Ziggler and Damien Sandow were the 2, besides probably Cody Rhodes, that were next to shoot up to main event. And you got Big E Langston, who's still a rookie, who, has time before he can shoot up to that level. But okay, just talking about the match, it was a pretty okay match. You end up with Damien Sandow winning. Dolph Ziggler hit some nice moves here and there, but it wasn't. It's been the same with them two for the last few matches. They got okay chemistry together, but it's nothing great. It has the feeling of that they're just, it's no heart to it. It's just like they're going through the motions here and there. And if it was like a story or more to this, then yeah, it would be better. And even them fighting for the IC Championship, the big problem with this is that if they would have took more time and built up the IC Championship, I say build it up from when Cody Rhodes brought the white title back, and have it to now to where its prestige is just high as fuck. Then it'll that'll make it way better. But this current run with Curtis Axel being IC champion just brought it way, way down. It feels like a cruiserweight title now. And not saying that cruiserweights fight for it, but how the cruiserweight title was feeling towards, for most of the time of that, where it felt like a bottom of the shelf championship. So hopefully that they try to bring up the prestige through the next few months and make it a bigger title, and so it can replace the world title. But yeah, Damian Sandow will face Big E Langston at TLC, and we'll get that match. Next we get the Bellas, Natalya, and that's it, versus Tamina, AJ, and Summer Rae. I guess this is just going on with the story of Total Divas versus the Real Divas. And what I'll say about this match, I was happy to see Summer Rae in it. I'm happy that they're giving Summer Rae more of a play, because out of all the other girls who play heels on the show, I think Summer Rae's really good at it. She has a lot from being on the NXT developmental side, and she's probably the only other one that's besides AJ that's a heel and okay on mic. Alicia Fox is pretty okay, but her mic skills aren't as she needs a lot more work, to put it like that, and everybody else is just especially the heels. It was a interesting match, to say the least. AJ Lee basically skipped around the ring the whole match, and I don't really know what to say about this. She gets in and she gets pinned by Natalya after skipping around, and Summer Rae and Tamina entering the ring and wrestling a little bit. It was a pretty short match, to tell you the truth. And I just don't know what to say, because it feels like they're having AJ Lee wrestle less. I don't know if it's because of her health. I don't know what it is. But my theory right now is that they're looking for a way for her to get more heat and for the crowd to stop cheering her. And the best way to do that is to show her as a non-wrestler and to show her as someone who just has a title because, she fucked around, or because, she just came up into having a title, and that she can be beat by any one of these girls. It's just that, her bodyguards are always there for her, and if she's by herself, she can get beat for this title. And it being like that, just it doesn't make me feel that, it makes me like AJ Lee more, to tell you the truth, because it feels like it's not her fault. I would rather them build up AJ Lee to be strong and build up Natalya to be strong, so that when these two clash, we get a good match and we're like, oh shit, that's crazy. But they're not doing that. And also, I guess they're doing this because Natalya doesn't have great mic skills, and they can't cut a promo versus promo with AJ Lee versus Natalya, because AJ Lee would eat her up, would just kill her in that game. And they're probably equal when it comes to the ring work as well. So I don't know here. It just felt really weird to me, and it wasn't entertaining just to watch her skip around the ring and to get people call her crazy. When she can do anything in the ring and they'll call her crazy, but at least let her wrestle. That's what I want to see. I want to see AJ Lee wrestle. Now, if they're just doing this to hold off until the pay-per-view to have her wrestle, I guess I can understand that, but I don't know, man. The whole Divas division right now is totally screwy to me. And Natalya wins that, so they're going to have Natalya versus AJ Lee at the TLC. After that, we get a backstage segment. I mean, not a backstage segment. We get Bray Wyatt, who comes out, and they now title him his segments Bad News Barrett and Alpha. What they've been doing on the Michael Cole and JBL show. And he basically comes out and he says something. He says, I got some good news for you. I got some bad news for you. His good news was that they were live on Raw. His bad news was that they were in Oklahoma. And basically, he just trashed the shit out of Oklahoma. And that was a pretty funny little segment right there. I like it that they're giving more character to Wade Barrett. They're giving more character to Wade Barrett, and that they're, doing a little bit something more fun with his character. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here. They had 2 of these segments tonight. The other one wasn't as good as the first one. The other one, he basically, what did he do? He trashed, I think, Thanksgiving or something, did he? Hold on. Yeah, I think he trashed Thanksgiving or something like that in the other segments. But yeah. After that, we get a backstage segment. This is the one I was talking about at first. We get a backstage segment with Randy Orton, and he's talking to Brad Maddox, saying, You need to go there, and you need to. He first said, "I'm sorry for not sorry, but like, yeah, I beat you up, and it had to be done and stuff like that, and but you need to go back there and you need to tell the authority that I am the best superstar. Matter of fact, I'm the best superstar ever, of all time." So it gave a little bit more to Randy Orton right there as far as his heat and his speeches go, but it does nothing for some other stuff that happens in the night and just things with Randy Orton. Next, we get a match with Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan. The weird part of this match is the entrance of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, where they just do the little effect that they put on before the Bray Wyatt's entrance, and then all they did was go to black, and these two was already in the ring. I don't know why they didn't play the music. It was weird, but because they had time in the show, there was a lot of filler on the show to play the music. But speaking of this, we just had a really nice little match here. I think this is one of the first singles matches with Eric Rowan, and seeing him wrestle and stuff like that, and getting him to see him do a lot of his movesets and stuff was very interesting here. He's played more of a bigger guy, more of a does a lot of big man moves and stuff like that, like bear hugs, more stuff than Luke Harper does. Luke Harper has more of the speed and has more of the agility than Eric Rowan does. But it was an okay match here. Daniel Bryan played it up a lot and was very quick and got beat up a lot, but he also played, the strong face that's coming back to win, and ends up getting the roll up at the end. And after that we get Bray Wyatt. Now I want to call him Wade Barrett. We get Bray Wyatt, who comes on the screen and basically stops the other Wyatts from coming in and coming outside and trying to fuck up Daniel Bryan. But he basically comes on the screen and says to Daniel Bryan, hold on, let's see. So he basically says to Daniel Bryan, I understand your frustration. I understand that, you're mad, but he basically tells me I'm not the one you should be mad about. You should be mad at, everybody else who's trying to hype you up to be something that you're not really. And he was talking about how he sees that he has a wife and everything, and I mean not a wife, but a beautiful girlfriend that you just bought a big diamond for, and all of this stuff that's around you now, but it means nothing because they just see you as a entertainment piece. They just see you as a fun dude with a beard basically, and it'll all go away, eventually. In that Bray Wyatt's the only person that can love him, and he needs to join Bray Wyatt. So that was a pretty interesting segment, and I like the way Bray Wyatt did a fucking phenomenal job at this promo. He basically played up everything with the Brie Bella stuff. This is one of the, next to CM Punk, this is one of the best promo cutters of the night. It was very fun to watch right there. After that, we got a backstage segment where Daniel Bryan bumps into Kane, and Kane basically tells Daniel Bryan that since you're friends with CM Punk, and since we're no longer tag team partners, I have an idea, and he puts him in a handicap match with Daniel Bryan versus all three members of the Wyatt family. So then he does the yes thing when he walks away, like yes, like that. And when he walks away, so that was interesting at the end. Then we get fillers. So first we get Xavier Woods and R-Truth versus Tons of Funk. I like Xavier Woods, like R-Truth, but the match was just very mediocre. Like, it wasn't a lot of good movesets. It ends up with a roll up with Xavier Woods beating Bray Wyatt, and it was like a very awkward roll up. Not Bray Wyatt, beating what's that boy's name? Brodus Clay. Every time somebody would be in their name, I fuck it up. Beating Brodus Clay, and it was just a very weird end to the match. What else happened? They're playing more on the whole idea that Brodus Clay may change to heel in a while. The problem with this match is that for somebody who's maybe going to change heel, his whole persona is heavy face, heavy cheesy, heavy gimmicky, and to me, I think it's like a band-aid. You need to rip it off real quick. I think he needs to have a quick change to heel instead of the slow build up to heel, because his interest and everything else doesn't mix well with the whole heel persona that they're trying to give him. So all of that is just, it just brought the segment down, and it just became uninteresting because the match was pretty slow, and you know, it just wasn't this excitement of, oh shit, this dude's about to become heel. You know, he didn't play it up through the whole match, and that's a problem with a couple other matches tonight. You know, that they just didn't play up this, you know, the beast factor of a couple of these characters or the heroic factor of these characters. You know, one of the only matches that actually had that was the Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan match, and where, you know, Eric Rowan played a crazy beast, and you had Daniel Bryan who played the hero, and, you know, played the hero rising up to take over the beast. You know, so this match was just very mediocre to me. So was the next match with Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara. Sin Cara, you know, he botched several moves. There was really no chemistry here with there was really no chemistry here with him and Sin Cara. You know, and Alberto Del Rio is a great wrestler, and Sin Cara was just over everywhere and over the place. I think the one move he did okay was his finisher, which he almost missed. You know, the mood lighting killed it again for me. I mean, they darkened the arena and put on this blue and yellow mood lighting for him, and it does nothing. You know, the crowd was dead during the whole time. So yeah, Sin Cara wins, but it did nothing for me. After that, we get a backstage segments with Renee Young talking to John Cena, and John Cena is basically hyping himself up as the world champion. After that, let's see. Oh, after that, we got a nice little quick promo where the Shield basically talks shit about CM Punk, saying, you know, you can barely beat us up on, you know, one-on-one. What makes the fuck you think that, you know, you're going to even handle us, all three of us? So it was a quick but funny little nice promo with the Shield. Those dudes do great promos as well. That's another problem with this show. They don't play up these heels, you know, pretty much. I mean, they got to play them up more. I love the characters on the WWE, but the creative just need to do better with playing these guys up. Next, we get a match with Cody Rhodes. I mean, the Rhodes Dynasty and Big Show versus the Shield. An okay match here. You know, it's pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing with the Rhodes Dynasty and the Shield. Just got Big Show mixed in here. You get the Shield with the win here after a spear on the outside to Big Show, and let's see, I think a roll up to. Okay, yeah, you get a suplex, and then for the win on on Goldust, and the Shield ends up winning here. So yeah, it was an okay match, but nothing, you know, it wasn't as great as everything else that we've been seeing with the Cody Rhodes and Goldust and the Shield, you know. So it was just okay when it came out to the end. After that, we get a backstage segment with Renee and CM Punk, and I really like here because CM Punk is singing what's the song, I'm so happy, so pretty and gay and stuff like that, and he just quickly switches to saying, you know, no, I'm not. You know, they put me in a match where there's no way I can win, and I'm going to go down in this match. But before I go down, I'm going to take one of these, or I'm going to take as many of these Shield members as I can down with me, meaning that I'm going to fuck somebody up. So, I like this with CM Punk right here, and it was very fun to see him just play up this, you know, to come in and play up this funny character at the beginning, but then quickly go to straight, you know, I'm fucking somebody up at the pay-per-view. So yeah, I mean, he was all through the night as far as the beginning segment, and here he was just playing up his character right here, and, you know, giving, you know, that fun feel back to his character that it needed to be. And you know how CM Punk is on the mic, he's pretty good, very good on the mic. After that, they did the Thanksgiving Bad News Barrett segment, and then we get a backstage segment with Miz and Kofi, and they basically saying to each other, "Are you ready? Can we go do this?" And they shake hands. And then we get a Miz and Kofi match versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. Boring match when you get Ryback and Curtis Axel get the win, and then Miz slaps Kofi again, and Kofi's mad about it. So they keep going back and forth with the whole heel and face thing with Kofi and Miz. We don't know who's going to be face, who's going to be heel. They're teaming them up and stuff like that. They're saying that they're doing this just to see who's going to go over each other and stuff like that. But yeah, after that we get a post match. Oh, that was it. Okay. Okay, after that we get a match with Let's see, hold on. Oh, I'll talk about this first. We get Los Matadors doing they're doing the selling merchandise thing for the WWE shop, and they're basically saying, look at what we have here, and then they bring El Torito on there, and he basically goes crazy and starts saying he wants everything, and then they say that the promo code is Ole. So then after that we get a yeah. After that, we get a match with Fandango versus Mark Henry, and this was one of the fun matches of the show. You had Mark Henry, who's this big, strong guy, and Fandango, who's this kind of goofy dancer, but Mark Henry played strong through this whole match, and he basically was just this big beast through the whole match, fucking Fandango up every chance he get. But he also put some funny elements into it because he is facing a gimmicky character like Fandango, and he starts dancing around the ring and stuff like that, looking at Summer every time he do it. He get a sexual chocolate chant from the fans and stuff, and his dancing leads to Fandango starts fucking him up and stuff like that. But he ends up coming back and end up getting a win here. And at the end, he's like trying to get Summer to get in the ring and dance with him, and she's just mad because he beats up on her boyfriend. Now he wants her to dance. So it was a pretty good segment here, and I like the chemistry of just fun between Mark Henry, the crowd, Fandango, and Summer. So yeah, it was a fun match, and actually Fandango starting to grow on me more. The less I see him is more. He's not. I see more ring work with him, and just him and Summer Rae just together is making a lot more fun to me. So yeah, it was a pretty good match right here. Next we get Primetime Players versus the Real Americans. Also, the Real Americans got new jackets, so that was pretty nice to see that on them. And Zeb Culture basically cuts a promo calling Titus O'Neil a disc. What does he call him? How you say that word? I didn't write that down, but he calls him it's calling him a fool basically, and saying that he's what do you say? He says like he's a disc queen or some shit like that. I don't know how you say the word, but for throwing up on him, he's basically saying he's a fool for doing that, and he's immature and stuff like that. And he's basically saying that to him, and then we get a match with them. And what brought this match down for me was the fact that I knew they were going to play the whole angle of Titus O'Neil throwing up on Zeb Culture and stuff, and throwing up on the other guys if he keep getting hit in the stomach. But the problem here was that the match was so long and they took so much time with it that it just became like, okay, are they going to do it? Are they not? And then also, you just play so much of Titus O'Neil getting beat up, and there was no chemistry here in this match. There was just, okay, I'm going to beat up one guy, and we're just going to keep doing that. And it's just like, okay, you did that for like 5 minutes now. And, a 5-minute match of watching like that, just somebody getting beat up is just like, all right, so I guess this is the match. That's all you felt. And then once Darren Young gets in it, they did a whole skit part where Titus O'Neil's getting swinged around and Zeb Culture is trying to stop him so he won't throw up. And they don't even play the whole throw up gimmick here, as far as him grabbing one of them is actually making them think that they're going to throw up on him so he can go and get a tag or something like that. But he just gets let go and then tags Darren Young in. Darren Young comes in hot, kind of gets some heat from the crowd for saying that this is his town, and the crowd doesn't like that, so they start booing him. And then ends up getting uppercuts and getting pinned by Cesaro, and Real Americans win here. And you get Titus acting like he's going to throw up through the end of the match. So, yeah. It was a mediocre match at best. And next we get the end segment. It's been a long video. The end segment with a contract signing for Triple H. And Stephanie McMahon comes out, and then they introduce Randy Orton, and they introduce John Cena. And they basically play up both titles and play up the guys holding the titles, but also putting the fact that Triple H held both of them, and basically saying Triple H is better than both guys in the ring. Stephanie's basically saying this stuff, and you get Randy Orton who comes on. And he's talking, saying, "I am the greatest." Triple H needs to realize that, and he needs to understand that. Yes, he held both of these titles, so have I, but I'm better than Triple H. Then you get John Cena that comes on and kind of cuts an interesting promo here. He plays it funny at first, but he's saying, telling Randy Orton that, you needed Triple H to come in and get you to do this, to be at your spot. You had a father who was already in wrestling, so you got everything was given to you, everything was handed to you. You were the youngest WWE champion, but you've done nothing but be lazy and do nothing with the belt. Do nothing the whole time that you've been in the industry and the whole time that you've been getting pushed. You did nothing exciting. You done nothing to push you to those. To say that you're okay. Randy Orton is the guy. He's the legend. You've just been given everything. You've been given the company basically. And John Cena is totally saying that I don't like the title face. I don't want to be called that. I don't want people to just say, oh, dude, you're the face. But he's basically saying that I know I am because I've just been that damn good. And then, so you get John Cena. I like the promo that John Cena cut here. It was kind of real for one point, but it was also, it was also, it had a lot of story elements to it, and basically him putting down Randy Orton, but also, putting himself up as well, saying, it was a very good promo for a face to cut, put it like that. So then after that, you get Triple H and Stephanie, who's slowly backing out of the ring while John Cena's telling Randy Orton that, I am better than you, and we can do, if you want to, we can get it, we can get busy right here and start beating the shit out of each other, but just to let you know that I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to hit you with a chair, hit you with a ladder, and put you through a table. So the whole time that John Cena's telling Randy Orton, come on, let's go, Randy Orton starts moving things away and then ends up pushing the table up into Cena, and they start fighting, and eventually John Cena puts Randy Orton through a table. After, chair hits and ladder hits and stuff like that, each other doing it. And he puts them through two tables. He throws them into the corner table and puts them through a table in the center of the ring. And then holds up both belts over Randy Orton. And that's the way the show ends, with John Cena holding up both titles. We had a few good segments here. We had, some nice parts here and stuff like that. But the main problem here is that the filler brought down the show. A couple of story issues and just a couple of the ideas of where these matches are leading onto, and the TLC just brought down the show once you start thinking about it. They also had this thing where they were doing the app stuff where they're asking people, okay, what are we going to call the belts once, there's Undisputed or, whatever, and people pick the unified unified championship or something like that. That's what people picked, and it was like close between all three of them. But, yeah, you had a good end segment. I liked the end segments. Even though it was John Cena, I liked it. You had a good opener with CM Punk. You had a good match in there with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. You had a good match with Mark Henry and Fandango. What else? You had an okay match with The Shield and Rose Dynasty and Big Show. And I believe that's it. Everything else was just like, it had problems with just every other thing that's been happening leading on into this. You see the direction that WWE is going, but it doesn't make you like, oh God, I really want to see this, because you got CM Punk going against all three members of the Shield for TLC. You know that it has to be something crazy for CM Punk to do in order to win, but it also could be just that they're going to just beat down on him. So, CM Punk has to hype himself up crazy to do this. You got Daniel Bryan facing all three members of the Wyatt family. That, these three members are strong as fuck, and they've been showing that. Even though they've been getting pinned a lot, they're still showing that, if you have all three of them, they can just fuck you up. That they're better as a trio than single. And Bray Wyatt hasn't lost yet as far as single guy. You haven't seen him in the ring a lot. So, there's interest in that, but it's just all three of them going against Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's great and everything, but putting all that down on him, and it feels like Raw segments and not a pay-per-view stuff. That's what I'm saying here. It doesn't get me that hype for everything. You got Natalya going against AJ Lee, but there's nothing to here. You got the problems with that. The inner IC problems. You got, just character problems of them trying to turn somebody heel, and in two segments with Brodus Clay and with Miz and Kofi. You got Ryback and Curtis Axel who are uninteresting, and it's just the bad is outweighing the good, and some of it is, the good is trying to rise up and outweigh the bad, but it just comes in as middle of the road and average at all ends. And if I had to score the show, I'll score it a C, a straight C. It has some good stuff here, but it had just equally of bad, so what can I say? It was average to me, and it was C. And yeah, you can find me online at BigChris145 or at Compton Animator. I got my Twitter, my website, and my own Tumblr down there. So yeah, hit me up, like, comment, subscribe, and peace.